Now, not everything has to be that involved. You can go to your Smart Materials, drag it out, just drag it right here to the top, right-click it, do Add Mask Color Selection, go ahead and pick, let's say this hot pink here, and there you go. That's all you really need to do. But if you want to see what's going on in there, you can open this up and kind of have a little bit better idea of how they're creating what they're creating. So, now that we've done all that, let's say, you know what, that looks really good, but I've got like 6 more pieces of this model to go ahead and texture. Instead of doing this over and over and over again, what you can do is create your own smart material based on everything we've done here. And because we haven't painted anything, it's just using procedural, automated, it takes your maps and it tells it what to do with these maps in a special way, and then it applies it to your model. So as long as your other models have a similar material ID, you can actually do the exact same texturing you've done to this thing to other objects. Before we do that, let's go ahead and, we were talking about generators, let's go ahead and do one really quickly. I'm going to cover this thing in dirt. So dirt isn't really relegated to just a small portion of the object. Dirt pretty much goes everywhere. So what I'm going to do is create another fill layer here. I'm going to call this dirt. And let's make some dirt. So really easily, just go down here to base color, and let's just pick like a dirt color, I suppose. And then scroll down here. Now dirt isn't emissive, so I'm going to turn that off. And actually, I'm going to keep emissive on just because dirt would probably get on the eyeball. So I'm going to go ahead and make sure that it will cover, because if I turn emissive off, it's not going to cover the eyeball. I'm going to go ahead and turn that on. And it'll allow the dirt mask to kind of mask in around the emissive eye. So we'll go down here to roughness. Now, of course, dirt isn't shiny, so I'm going to crank this pretty much all the way to the right. And then dirt isn't metallic, so I'm going to keep it nice and non-metallic, dielectric. So that looks like a pretty good dirt. Now, we have to tell the dirt where to go. If we wanted to, what you could do is the manual way, which you create a mask, and then you can add let's just go ahead and do a really quick one, if I can remember how. We can do add a fill. So with this fill, we can go ahead and choose a grayscale curvature map, and then with this fill selected, what I can do is go ahead and add a levels. And so really all I'm doing, if I roll over this thing, you're going to see that's my curvature map. I'm going to do a levels on my curvature map to kind of increase the contrast. And you're going to see everywhere my curvature map is white, dirt is going to show up. Everywhere it's black, it's not going to show up. If I click in here and add another level, so this one was contrast. If I go in here and I change this into an invert node, you're going to see everywhere it just inverted my curvature map. So now everywhere it was white is now black, and it just goes and inverts where the dirt's going on my object. So now it's kind of hiding out in the shadows. Instead of doing all this manual stuff, what I'm going to do is close all these down, and let's go ahead and just start over. So I'm going to remove this mask, and now I'm going to add a black mask. That's going to get rid of my dirt completely, but now I'm going to use a generator to generate where this mask is going to go using a mask generator, MG. Here's MG dirt. So with this dirt mask selected, if I scroll up, let's go ahead and click dirt here. Oh, I need to right click this and do add generator. This adds a little generator node here that tells it I want to use a generator to generate a mask. So I'm going to click on MG dirt, and I can either drag it in here, or if I click the X key here to get rid of that, I can click here, and you can roll over and kind of see which one you want, and it'll kind of enlarge it for you. Either way is fine. I like to look at the names over here, so I'm going to go MG dirt, drag it onto my generator, and now it went ahead and, just like when we were in Substance Designer, here's our dirt node. So remember, it needs a curvature map and an ambient occlusion map in order to do its job. It needs to know where the dark recesses of your object are using those two maps. Now you'll notice when I dragged in my generator MG dirt, it already has curvature and ambient occlusion plugged in. Pretty cool, huh? That's because everything is plugged in over here. It knows that you have an ambient occlusion, you have a curvature. I'm going to steal those really quickly and start generating some dirt masks. So, just like in Substance Designer with the mask generator, we've got invert, so you can invert your dirt mask. The level, so you want to make it pretty clean, just a little dirty. And as you drag this to the right, you're going to see it starts coming in from where dirt would normally collect, in the shadows and in the crevices here. You can change the contrast of your dirt grunge and the grunge amount of your dirt, so you can make it really soft and smooth, or add a little bit of grunge, and then edge masking. So, really quick way to do dirt generators. I'm going to go ahead and back this off just a little bit here. And you know what? I don't like the clay look of that, so I'm going to actually click on this area here. I'm going to go ahead and make this a little less saturated, a little darker, like so. There we go. Good looking dirt. So I've done all this texturing, and like I said, I don't want to keep texturing doing this stuff over and over and over again. So I'm going to go ahead and create a smart material that I can apply to other objects. And how you create a smart material is really easy. So you're going to click this add a folder icon here, and that's going to give you a folder. And I'm going to take everything in here, shift click it, and I'm going to drag it right into that folder. So my whole project is now in this folder. I'm going to name this folder, let's call it Demo Helmet. So with Demo Helmet selected, I'm going to right click it and do Create Smart Material. And over here in my Smart Materials, you're going to see if I go up to the D area, Demo Helmet's coming in, and I've got a little smart material I can drag in. So how do I use this thing? Well, I'm going to go to File. Actually, let's go ahead and save this one. And then go to File. Oops. I don't want to open. I want to go to File, New. And we're just going to go ahead and grab, instead of the helmet, I'm going to grab the upper body, OBJ, and I'm going to go ahead and add the targets. And click OK. And if they're named correctly, they'll be plugged in. If they're not, go ahead and plug them in manually. No big deal. So instead of going ahead and texturing this thing like we've already done, I can go to my Smart Materials here, and I can grab Demo Helmet, drag it right on top here,